Good evening. It's as a change tonight, it's Sunday night, but it's still 8 o'clock, and it's definitely time for another nervous chat. In case you're wondering, it's 2-0 to England in the football, and it's now half time, following some quite desperate moments in the first half, but we have prevailed, and it is now 2-0 to England. Anyway, on with the show. Tonight's guests are joining us from the US of A. Their local park is Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, and it's with great pleasure that I'm going to welcome zooder loopers, Brian and James.
Hey
guys, how you doing?
I'm great.
We are awesome today. I mean, we are so excited to be here.
Brilliant, thank you. I must admit, I've been looking forward to it because after hearing obviously what you said about your ride anxiety and things, and I just thought perfect, because I've always tried to sort of get guests who've suffered in the same way that I have, and other people that I know watch the show and find inspiration from that. So it's quite nice. And you're a father and son team, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that. And speaking of father and son teams, we've got another guest tonight. I've got the absolute pleasure of bringing my son TJ Thomas into the stream as well. He's joining us as well tonight.
Sweet. Nice.
Hey TJ, how you doing?
I'm good. Very excited to be on.
So there we go. Two father and son teams. What a great show we're going to have tonight. So I've just obviously touched on there, guys, about the ride anxiety, and I believe it was something that you both suffered from.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I don't know much about your story if you've really been scared of them. I know you have like a little bit of a story back in Southern California.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I grew up in Southern California, so like there's a ton of theme parks down there. And I'll never forget my dad taking me to Disneyland, and I was deathly afraid to go on even Space Mountain. Like I just wouldn't do it. The Matterhorn, forget about it. I wouldn't do it. And for some reason, the Mine Train, Big Thunder Mountain, like that I could do, but I couldn't do anything else. And it wasn't until I had a girlfriend that I was at Knott's Berry Farm, and I actually went to practice ride the roller coaster before going there with my girlfriend, because I knew she wanted to go on the ride, and I did not want to look like a chicken when we walked up to Ghost Rider. So I sat there in front of Ghost Rider for what probably was like 45 minutes. Finally, it was go time. I went on, conquered my fear at that moment on Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm. And from that moment, it was over. It was good. I loved it. But then Brian came around, and then I think I scarred him, because the minute that he turned, or he grew to 35 inches, I think that's how tall you need to be, you could go on the Matterhorn at Disneyland. And I put him on that bobsled ride, and he hated it.
Oh, terrifying.
It was awful. And I think I scarred him for life, because
I cried on that.
You cried every time.
Yeah.
And we maybe a year later, I tried to put him on Big Thunder Mountain, because it's a mine train ride. Everyone loves mine train rides. Nope, didn't work. Hated it. So it wasn't until several years later that I got him on Space Mountain. Mm-hmm. We were leaving Southern California, and I'll never forget it, because we have another zooder, my youngest son, his younger brother, Derek. He's fearless.
Yeah, well, on anything.
And do you remember on Matterhorn?
Yes. I was crying just so bad. And
tears, real tears.
I get into the train, and they put the restraint down, and the ride operator, she's like, "Are you sure? Like, we don't want to take him off the ride? Like, is he going to be okay?" And then my brother, all the way in the back, he's like, "No, he does this for every ride. Just go."
So off we went. We rode on the Matterhorn, and I think you were okay at that point.
Yeah.
You finally got old enough that you got okay. But
I conquered the fear of Disney rides, most of them.
Yep.
Still haven't ridden California Screamin', which is now in Credit Coaster, and I'm really bummed about that. that I never built up the courage to ride that one.
But then we moved eventually, like what, 9 years later, we moved here to Florida, which is like theme park capital. I love it. And Brian found himself in that same predicament that I had, where he knew that there would be a scenario that someone would want to go to the theme park with him. And there he was at SeaWorld Orlando.
Yep. Thankfully, Manta was closed that day. And I feel like if I rode Manta first, that would have been rough, just because that pretzel loop is so intense that would have scarred me all over again. But I went on Journey to Atlantis, and I'm like, the drop wasn't that bad. It's just a water coaster. Not all that bad. Kraken shook me up a bit, but just your average B&M looper. It was really good. Loved it. And then we ate lunch, and I was sitting there, and I was up at makeup, and that was like, it was this thing like just like
he was farting. He was farting in line.
I mean,
you were farting in line, bro.
I was shook, but that's one way to put it. We were eating lunch, and I like ate all the food, and then I realized I felt sick, like sick to my, because I had just eaten and then was going on the ride, and I felt so bad. I thought I was gonna puke going lift. And it was all kind of just a blur. I mean, I put down restraint. I regretted everything, and then we went up on the drop, and it was just history. It was all fun. And it's funny, every time I go on anything like 200 plus, I still do get a little, but I just know like the payoff is going to be so good when you go down that drop.
Yeah.
It's like, the thing for me is always the drop. Everything else, it's like, once I get over the drop, there's nothing bigger than that. Yeah, I mean,
it's funny you should say about the whole impressing a girlfriend situation, because the first time I ever got on a roller coaster was on my the first official date for me and my now wife, and she'd always been adamant that she would get me on a roller coaster, and I'd always said no. So we went to Thorpe Park, which is, you know, quite widely accepted in the UK as probably one of the most thrilling parks. It's full of quite intense rides, and I got on this roller coaster, and I think I did it 3 times that day, just for her, basically, and then I didn't set foot on another roller coaster for about another. How long was it before I got onto a Swarm?
I'm not sure. It must have been like a couple years.
Yeah, and then and I didn't set foot on anything, and I went backwards. Even things like mine trains that you talked about absolutely terrified me. And then eventually I did a ride called the Swarm, and it was again, it was my wife was determined to get me over this fear, and so we went. It was Thorpe Park again. We queued up for this ride, and the funny story that I always tell is I looked at the lift hill, because lift hills bother me because I'm petrified of heights, and I looked at it, and there was another ride I had done, and they looked quite similar lift hills. So I said to her, I was like, oh, this doesn't look too bad. It looks about the same sort of height as this other ride. And she said, yeah, it is. Yeah, they're about the same. They're about the same. And I said, oh, I'm going to Google it and find out. She went, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Do that afterwards. Let's just get on the ride, and you can look it up afterwards. Well, anyway, it turns out the lift hill on the Swarm was double the height of this other ride I had in mind. So if I'd have Googled it, I probably would never have got on it. But because I did, that was my launch pad then for going on to doing bigger and faster, and, you know, and whatever rides, and obviously that I'm now where I am today. But yeah, there's so it's quite funny that it's a girlfriend is involved. And I think a lot of us do things, don't we, to impress. But yes, so it's quite funny that we share that story almost.
Like, the whole statistics bit, like looking at the height on Google. So I made the mistake of doing that for almost every roller coaster, but that helped me almost build up to it. So like I planned the day around going on the first, then the second biggest, and then finishing the biggest. That way it's like, you know, it's like, dang, 200 is a big drop. But if I go on Kraken, which is 150, then that's easy. I could just drop like, or go 50 more feet. That's not that much, right?
I mean, the other way of thinking about it,
I could do 200.
The other way of thinking about it, though, is you're just painfully increasing, like you're prolonging your pain. So it's like, yeah, just go on Mako, go a 200-footer, knock it all out, and after that, everything looks small.
Yeah, but part of me likes the anticipation. It makes the ride more fun. I've always said, make the ride of it. Absolutely. It really does, because you build up that anticipation on the lift, and then when you go down, it's just so rewarding. When you get off, you feel so proud of yourself in a way. It's like, yeah, I did that. I'm gonna go do it again.
Do you still get those butterflies, Darren?
All the time. Yeah. And although for some rides, I'd say it's more than butterflies still. It's still an anxiety. You know, the butterflies I get from a lot of rides now is excitement butterflies, and you know, and that's fine. But there is one ride particularly called Stealth. You might have heard of it. It's a thought park. It's basically a smaller version of King the Car. So it's an intermittent launch coaster. Yeah, it's an intermittent accelerator, and it shoots 200 feet into the air, 80 miles an hour, and then of course it comes straight back down.
I love it.
And I've done this ride now.
I love accelerator. I love that.
Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic ride. Once I'm on it and going, I'm fine. But in that queue, I still get those. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And it's the only one.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've been on Mako quite a bit now, like 60 or 70 times. I don't know the exact number. I think it's like high 60s. But still, every time the stairs go right by the lift hill. And so you're just going up the stairs, and all you can do is look right there at the lift hill. Just watch it take people up and drop people down. And it's like, but it's also really scary.
I love launch ride. So like for me, Stealth would be great. And I remember, I'd gone on Goliath before that, but like I loved Accelerator, which is, you know, that first intimate accelerator version from Knott's Berry Farm. And we lived 15 minutes away from there. And I grew up in high school going to Knott's Berry Farm. And we would go to Knott's Berry Farm after school. We went to a Catholic school. So it was like every saint's birthday, you kind of had like the day off or half day. And we would just go to Knott's Berry Farm and marathon Ghost Rider and Accelerator. And
that's what I've been doing lately. Like we've just been going to the park, and we will ride everything there, just like over and over and over and over. One way to get over the fear. Well, yes. Whether it's peer pressure or supportive friends, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. My wife was my supportive friend.
Yeah.
And she also knew when to push, because sometimes you need that push, don't you? When you're about to chicken out.
Oh, you definitely do.
And you just need that person who's going to go, you are not chicking out of this now. And I find that works brilliantly for me, and she's perfect for that. She knows exactly when to push and when to go, maybe not this time then, we'll come back and do it another time. So yeah, having that supportive friend is absolutely crucial, and it's got to be somebody that you fully trust.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
But
My
but then you fall into that problem of sometimes you kind of lie about how bad the coaster is. So do you retain your trust with them afterwards? Do you risk the trust because
maybe.
you know the payoff is going to be fantastic?
Yeah. Well, so my girlfriend, we went to Universal's water park, Volcano Bay, and they have a drop slide that's like you stand there and they drop you 105 feet, I believe. Yeah, the floor drops under you, and it's just a like 100+ foot drop, and so that thing's terrifying. But she's a thrill seeker, so she went on it no problem. Her dad went on it, and I'm up there freezing. I'm shaking. I stepped into the tube on the ride for lightning, so I had to then walk down like a couple hundred stairs, and then walk back up, and it was so bad. I was screaming so loud, and it was funny. Like you could hear it from all the way like outside the tube. I even landed in the pool when I was done, and I think I still screamed after that. So it was funny. Like it was just so scary. But I mean, put me on that again. I'll definitely be a little shaky, but I know it'll be so much fun. That's the thing. It's an internal conflict because I know it's gonna be super fun, but it's just getting over that first bit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Coaster Chicken is asking, have you ever done a coaster that you've built up anticipation for and then been disappointed by it? And if so, what was the coaster?
It's hard because I'm not really disappointed by many coasters. Either we're just lucky, or we have a lot of really good coasters in our backyard, but like there's not many coasters that I'm disappointed by.
Yeah, like I think I was actually probably unpopular. I didn't believe hype around the coaster because everyone loved Velociraptor, and we obviously have gone on Iron Gwazi so many times, and it's fantastic. And I couldn't believe that anything could possibly be over Iron Gwazi, and everyone loves Velocicoaster. So it's an expensive ticket. We didn't buy, like annual passes to everywhere because, money is a real thing. So finally we got to a point where we can go to Universal.
Yep. And
I think I went into that expecting to be underwhelmed because of the hype, but Velocicoaster absolutely delivered for me.
Oh, for sure. That was one that did the complete opposite of Coaster Chicken's question. It left us like just so awestruck about how awesome of a ride it was. So much so that like I had ridden Iron Gwazi before, and I was thinking, there's no way anything can beat this ride until I went on Velocicoaster. So much like I wanted to make a video then after that, like, guys, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Velocicoaster is the best ride in the world.
But
that was until just recently.
Just Friday, we went to Busch Gardens with a couple friends, marathon. It's the greatest. At night with the Christmas lights on, and then we even got one lights off ride.
Yes.
I don't know why the lights were off. They just turned off.
The lights were off. I blacked out on it. It was amazing.
I mean, with the lights off, maybe you just closed your eyes.
Maybe. It was.
Who knows?
That ride is just something beyond words. It is insane.
I mean, it looks insane. I've obviously been watching videos of it, and because it's on my bucket list. Iron Gwazi is one that I'm desperate to get over and do. And I've looked at it and I just thought, the elements of it, and I've got friends who've done it, like Coaster Hen, Coaster Chicken's wife. She did it when they went to the States recently, and she said it's just absolutely insane, a coaster.
There really are no words.
Yeah, I would agree. Another one at Busch Gardens that makes me think that is Shakra. Because we have a similar ride in the UK called Oblivion.
From a scared standpoint.
Of course.
Yep.
That was like my childhood. I remember playing roller coaster, and When I saw like, oh, whoa, this coaster does that, and then I saw Oblivion exists.
Yes.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
what is this? Like, and then that's where my fascination with Alton Towers began.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get to Alton Towers.
So his obsession with
You
Roller
did.
Coaster Tycoon ended up wearing off on me. And as I was playing, you know, I'd make all these big, awesome roller coasters, but then I'm like, I kind of want to challenge myself. What if I just build like small roller coasters that are still like really thrilling? And he's like, check out this park. There's one called Alton Towers in the UK, and like they just have all their rides under the tree limit.
Yep, under the tree line.
So cool. So I became obsessed with that park. I mean, I built so many Nemesis-inspired rides.
Absolutely. But she is great. I mean, I love it. Yeah.
You've got a B&M invert at Busch Gardens, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's amazing.
It's powerful.
And it's really good lately.
Obviously, we've got no Nemesis now.
Yeah.
Yep. I know, which might delay my UK trip.
Yeah.
There's no way I can go to the UK and not ride Nemesis.
Yep. I definitely.
It is such an iconic ride worldwide, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, I've watched the POVs and all that stuff. It looks incredible. Speaking of POVs, back to like just fears and stuff. Helping me, like, he would always try to help me get over these rides. Like, oh, watch this POV. It's not that bad. POVs really make the ride look not that scary. And then when you get there, you're like, that is much taller than the POV made it look.
It never does it justice.
Yeah. I don't know what the GoPro does, what type of camera tricks they use, but the drop that once looked like maybe 120 feet max is now like a 300-foot drop in real life. And so it's just crazy how bigger things look than the POV, and that didn't help my fear.
See, I found the POVs helped me massively.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
Because they help me know exactly what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helps my anxiety because I can sort of prepare myself.
Yeah.
But I do agree, they do make things look a lot shorter than they actually are, and drops look a lot quicker than they actually are.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I think POVs have been brilliant. So was that why you started your YouTube channel then?
Well, so we started it, and I mean, we've had dreams of, at least I have, and my brother, I've had dreams of having a YouTube channel since I was a little kid.
I've squashed it every second I got a chance.
Funny enough, I think it's still up on the internet.
I'm positive it is.
There's a video of me and my Pokemon cards as a little kid, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, we've loved YouTube. He's never really supported it until we get into roller coasters. He's like, wait, we could do this. Like, this is something we could do. And like, I get off of, you know, I'm like going to these parks regularly. We have our SeaWorld pass, and so we're going to Busch Gardens and SeaWorld, and I'm loving all these rides, and we're finally all agreeing that this is all fun, and I'm not sitting at the exit holding everyone's bags.
Oh, because that happened. We took a vacation to Florida when we lived in Seattle in 2016. We went to Busch Gardens, and it was the hottest I've ever experienced. It was in the middle of July. I sweat from places I didn't know I could sweat from. It was the most humid day, and the last thing I wanted to do was be in a line that's tight and close to people, and I could smell people. I didn't want to be around people, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy the Quick Queue. I bought the Quick Queue. It must have been what?
He bought one for me.
It was
too.
Expensive.
I only rode like 2 coasters.
He didn't ride a single coaster except for Scorpion, which is a very old Schwarzkopf.
Yeah.
I don't know why you rode it, because
that's the rough ride in the park.
It's the worst. Like, I love it, but like, no, you don't ride that one.
I really rode the most painful ride in the park.
But it wasn't until the very end of the night, almost in tears also, I got him onto Cheetah Hunt, which is a pretty tame, you know, multi-launch.
Like Velocicoaster Junior.
Yeah. And, you know, you made it a couple years later about that. and being scared of roller coasters.
Yeah.
Now you're good though.
Still, I mean, if we go to like Cedar Point or Six Flags Great Adventure, and I see that those 400-foot top hats on those figures, kind of freak out.
No.
Yeah.
Those are big rides.
I think about that all the time. When we're on the top of Iron Gwazi, all I'm thinking is that's 200 feet tall. Kingda is 430?
456.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But I can't wait.
Yeah, like Mako is 200 feet tall, and then you get on Kingda Ka, they double that, and then if that's not enough, they add another 56 feet onto it.
I can't even imagine. So good. I see
some kind of
Jameer's
crazy person that
he
designed Kingda Ka.
Yeah.
Yes. So crazy.
I love this question. What's your top 3 bucket list coasters?
Yes. Jameer would like to know your top 3 bucket list coasters.
Okay. So
you can include UK coasters.
I would love to include UK coasters. Nemesis is definitely up there. Obviously, that thing is insane. Oh, how could I forget? Hyperion and Energylandia looks incredible.
You're dying to go to Energylandia.
And then he's always hyped up X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Oh, so good.
But then Ijunaika in Japan, same model, just bigger. So if I had unlimited money and I could choose one, I'd go to Ijunaika.
Ooh, okay. I think
go big or go home.
What was that, Darren?
I said go big or go home.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I would say,
X2 has fire effects
and
an onboard soundtrack. If it's working,
it's still, Six Flags Magic Mountain.
That's still Six Flags.
It's probably not working. You're lucky to get the ride running. I think Kingda Ka has got to be towards the top of my list. I mean, it's kind of one of a kind, right? Yeah. So I think Kingda Ka towards the top of my list.
At least top.
Yeah. But like
that's a big rabbit hole.
Okay, I have a really dumb one. I really want to go on the steeplechase. Where else chase at Blackpool?
It looks cool.
Have you ridden it? Oh yeah.
Do you know what? I did the steeplechase for the first time this year. It's a rough ride. It's a lot of fun, but it is rough.
I think to round out my top 3, Japan another level there. So
Japan is easy.
So I Kingda, steeplechase, and Ijunaika. Very, very
love it.
Wide variety.
Variety is the spice of life.
Was also kind of the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, if you go to Blackpool,
another thing that
you get a chance to do Icon. There's some lag on your internet, I think, guys.
It's cutting out.
Oh, I'm back. Oh. We are here.
I can hear you. It's just you're frozen in the screen. Just bear with us, guys. We're having some technical issues here, I think.
Okay. I see you. I mean, Darren's frozen, but TJ's good.
It's fitting for wintertime that we're frozen.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Let it go. How about your top 3, Teach?
Oh no! I'm waiting for him to do it.
What's your bucket list top 3?
I actually don't know. I've ridden a few like quite a few coasters, but I don't really know many.
There we go.
You need to start brushing up on your European coasters and world coasters and make your bucket list.
I've definitely seen some at Six Flags that are quite good. They all look really high and quite long.
Yeah, we like Six Flags coasters, but Busch. I mean, I was looking at the rides at Busch Gardens, and yeah, Shaker, although terrified me, I'd want to do it just to be able to say I've done it.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it is one of those, isn't it? And
so have you done it?
So what was that?
Have you ridden Oblivion?
Yes, I have. And actually, that takes me back to obviously Coaster Chicken's question about getting anxious about a ride and then being disappointed, because that's how I felt about Oblivion. It was over and done with so quick.
I watched the POV.
Yeah,
big drop, and then it's just like
when we on the POV we hit the brake run, and I'm like, that's it.
Yes,
yeah,
and it literally is over that quick. You actually spend longer waiting on the brake run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you spend longer waiting on the brake run to come in. It's quite.
I'd say Sheikah's less
quite underwhelming.
Oblivion, exactly.
So why do you think Sheikah is less scary?
Oblivion, you drop into this big menacing hole.
Oh, okay.
It's like all this fog you can't see.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah, that's true.
But then the elements are pretty big too, so I don't know.
Okay, so I feel like I've heard some chat online from a lot of the UK folks. I'm not sure. Maybe it was your own podcast here, Darren. But what's the take with Smiler, or what's the temperature on Smiler? Because I really want to go on Smiler.
Yeah.
14 inversions. I think some folks feel like they don't need the inversions. Like, I think it looks amazing. Like, what's your take on that?
I would say Smiler has 2 inversions too many.
It must have been your podcast that I heard that on.
Yeah, and it's purely because it gets repetitive.
Yeah.
So by the time you've done the 12th inversion, you're done, and the last 2 are quite rough.
Oof.
Okay, so what about repetitive inversions then? What do you feel about Colossus at Thorn?
I mean, Colossus, yeah. I really like Colossus. And I think for Colossus, the repetitive part is part of the ride. So it works.
Okay.
I mean, Colossus is awesome.
I mean,
it's definitely quite a rough ride as well.
We have a lot of for a lot of different theme parks, and I love Six Flags Magic Mountain as much as I talk junk about it. But I know that park loves to go, the coaster record right now. They need a call. Like, I don't know why nobody at Six Flags has looked at Smiler and said, you know what, let's build a Smiler, theme it after the Joker, and make a real Joker twisted ride. Like, I think that would be epic.
You should be a roller coaster engineer.
I actually went to school for that before I dropped out. Did I never tell you that?
I thought you were going to be a film director.
I did. I went to Cal State Long Beach, and I went to school actually, no, you know what? I joined their film classes that they had, or that program, but I didn't get far. And my minor was theme park engineering. They offered I don't know if they still do, but they offered theme park engineering, and I thought that would be so cool. But then I stopped.
Sign me up.
All right, go to Cal State Long Beach.
it is interesting that nobody's tried to take that inversion record from the Smiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
I know. So
maybe like you said, 2 inversion too many.
Six Flags, you can break every single record in the book.
That park looks insane if it ever gets built.
Merlin, that own Alton Towers and Thorpe Park, and that are very much into breaking records. And so that generally, whenever they build a coaster, it has to have some kind of world-beating element.
Yeah.
So Six Flags aren't alone with record breaking. But yeah, you've got to come and you've got to do the Smiler. It is an insane ride.
Yeah, I want to so bad.
And then also, like, just on the Alton Towers, like, who builds a wooden roller coaster and with fire effects? Like, why would you do that? That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Plus, I think the ride has the weirdest / coolest lift hill.
The lift hill, yeah, it's like
it's so unique. I love it. I love it so much.
I must admit, the first time I ever saw Wicker Man, I questioned exactly the same thing. I thought, what a recipe for disaster. As you say, flames and wood. And the fact that the pre-show is all about people being burnt as an offering to the Wicker Man.
Oh no! Oh no!
So yeah, it was slightly concerning, but I can assure you it's safe.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm going on whether or not it's safe or not.
Yeah, I want to go.
You've got to do it. It's one of Coaster Chicken's favorites.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
I'm not a big fan of the pre-show of that, though.
You don't like the pre-show?
No, that scared me so much the first time I rode that.
Honestly, you just talking about it right now, I'm like, oh, okay, that's frightening.
You know what was kind of it was scary was Revenge of the Mummy when we went to Universal. Okay, yeah. He's laughing at me because the animatronics were a little silly. They pop out, they're like, "Oh, I'm the mummy."
A little silly,
but then like I don't know. Here, okay, it's just like this guy with all his guts out. It's like gross.
Totally. Oh, don't spoil it.
Oh,
what if they haven't been on there?
Just there's a really scary mummy. I'm sure you would have guessed by the name.
I like the mummy. The mummy's got some good effects.
Yeah, it's got really great ride effects. It's not that scary.
Yeah, I was watching is it Longhorn Coasters Halloween Horror Nights from Universal, and obviously they the mummy was walk on. So they obviously talked about that, and the theming looked out of this world. So that is one I would.
Yeah.
I'm such a chicken without all that like Halloween stuff that like it's the one time you won't see me at the parks.
Yeah, like
throughout the month of October, I'm sitting home and editing videos.
We'll be there early.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but we do love Christmas time at the parks.
Yes.
Yeah. Talk to me about Christmas, because I feel that Christmas at UK theme parks is disappointing from a ride perspective, because they do put on like great Christmas events, but most of the rides are closed. If you went to Alton Towers now,
sure,
none of the big roller coasters are open. Because it's
that's weird.
Whereas you keep your coaster, your parks are open sort of all year round, aren't they?
Well, in Florida and California, Southern California,
some parks have options, even though parks like Carowinds are getting rid of that.
Well, Carowinds is open now
year round,
and they have some big rides open for winter. I don't know how the more north side of parks go. We had a dinky little park in Seattle called Wild Waves, and they ran their wooden coaster. It's an S&S Woody, so that's a rare one. They ran their thing. It was cool.
Speaking about Christmas events, I love what parks like SeaWorld and Busch Gardens do, where they will only they'll have their Christmas park lights on all the trees. It's beautiful, and they have fireworks shows for the surround. They'll shut those down. Maybe they'll shut down Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens 30 minutes early, and Icebreaker at SeaWorld because it's right by their fireworks. And so they'll shut at SeaWorld. They'll just shut down Icebreaker and leave all the other rides running. So it's cool. The other day I was hanging out with some friends at SeaWorld, and he was watching the fireworks show. I was watching the fireworks show. It's quite a view.
Yes. The fireworks at Alton Towers actually are also absolutely amazing. I've not been myself, but I know quite a few friends who have been, and this year was particularly special because of course they had the closing ceremony for Nemesis as well, and they had this amazing fireworks show. So it's quite special. Alton Towers fireworks is quite a special event. I think we've got.
Well, I mean, but I still see TJ. TJ has the best internet out of all three of us because he
does seem to be on a constant with us, doesn't he? And he's only on a phone.
Okay. Yeah. Christmas is great here, though. They have a lot of really great offerings. I think the competition is so fierce in Orlando too that during here and SeaWorld.
I'm losing them. We appear to have temporarily lost the zooder loopers, guys. We are experiencing some internet lag tonight. So hopefully they'll be back with us shortly. If not, it'll be a very premature end to the show.
Okay, there we go. Derek, who didn't want to be on here. I don't know if you could hear me. Derek, who didn't want to be on here. He's playing video games. That's what's happening. He's doing our stream.
So he's causing the internet lag.
That's what's happening.
Very much so.
I mean, I don't know, so some new thing happened. He has to play Fortnite. So.
Coast Chicken wants to know what's Derek playing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's playing Fortnite.
Oh,
he's playing Fortnite.
Oh.
There's a new season out on it. That's why.
That's his game.
See, TJ's in the loop with games.
But there's I've noticed Orlando and the garden. There's that there on you, so he was like, it's gonna be skin.
So yeah, I get Fortnite as Mr. Beast. They're adding your YouTubers into Should add us next.
Adding the zooder loopers. I want the coaster chicken skin. That's who I want to play as. If they get a coaster chicken, I'm for it.
Bless him. So, guys, I've got to ask the question. Now that we're talking about Christmas, you went
that'd be funny
hunting all over SeaWorld to find Santa Claus.
Yes.
Did he subscribe?
We did. We had. I don't know.
Okay.
The truth is, I don't know.
The truth is, sadly, I don't think Santa Claus subscribed.
But we also haven't hit Christmas Day yet, so I could still.
Santa works until Christmas delivers, so maybe he'll drop us a subscription.
Yeah, that was quite a fun video.
I loved it. Absolutely loved that video.
I mean, we could dream that he'll subscribe, right?
Let me see what I can do about this connection.
Well, why wouldn't he subscribe? Surely, you know,
What was that?
it's on every YouTuber's Christmas wish list. It's Santa Claus to subscribe.
Fix. Exactly. Yes. He wants to spread Christmas joy all around the world.
Exactly.
Thank you, Coaster Chicken, for that comment. He seemed to like the video well.
Yeah. I thought it was really clever.
Very, very fun video. It was not like our typical vlog.
No, it was really, really clever the way you kept the audience following you by searching for Santa going around the park. I absolutely loved that. I thought, do you know what? This is so clever.
Well, it was a fun way to show the Christmas event that they were putting on while still giving our own take on it and, you know, just having a good time. And that's the thing. We just want to have a good time behind the camera. So if you'll watch any, like, really genuinely, we genuinely record us having fun. Like, I mean, we land so many dad jokes and we just have so much fun.
You could only we actually have notes on our wall right here with just very bad ideas, and we just toss up an idea because maybe some of those bad ideas at some point. And so that's what we kind of thought of. We were like, you know what? Let's hunt for Santa.
Not all of them are bad.
Some of them are winners.
That one was a winner. For me, that was a winner. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Another one of your vlogs that I was particularly drawn to, because of a pet hate of mine, was your trip to Peppa Pig theme park.
That was his first vlog.
So that was our first vlog, and it's very interesting because the way we do our vlogs now, and I like look back at one just to see how much we've grown over time. You know, and just I do all the editing, and so it's cool to see how different my video was just a couple months ago to now. But that
you've definitely found comfort.
Yeah. Yes.
In folks. At least for I didn't want to be part of it at all, but it definitely takes for getting in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think at first you're so influenced by so many different folks online that you almost try to mimic what they do. And at some point you have to realize you are you. And what would make somebody watch Zooder Loopers is you. And what would make somebody watch, you know, Darren's anxious. You know, like Darren is the differentiating factor there. And so I think that there is an audience for everyone of a discovering And definitely your editing style.
Yeah, no, I spend on YouTube, so like there's so many different creators and stuff out there, but little bits and pieces that I just love, and I love putting my own spin on that. You know? So it's been a lot of. I just love the creativity that I can use in those videos. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, and as you say, it is all about finding your unique.
I don't have any more flamingo moments planned. Coaster chicken.
I slipped that one in. I was like, do I ask them? Do I not? What's your favorite all-time coaster?
When you're 21, you can go to the flamingo. What's your favorite number? What's your number one? That's easy.
Favorite coaster?
Yeah, what's your number one?
Oh, that's easy. Iron Gwazi.
100%.
100%.
Agree 100%.
I went the other night, and I've never had anything like that. I mean, the amount of airtime I got, and I can't speak. It's so good.
Also, if you kind of like lean and kind of stretch yourself out a little bit, they won't staple you as hard. So you get maximum airtime.
Yeah. I felt like I was gonna fly out of my seat.
I was standing. I felt like I was literally standing. It was the most amazing thing.
Yeah.
My number one is Icon at Blackpool.
Okay, I think the perfect film is Back to the Future. I say it all the time. I think that's a perfect film.
The Coaster Capturer would be so happy to hear you say that.
It's really random.
It's a good film, bro.
I grew up with Back to the Future.
That's a good one. I like that. I like Pirate.
I like Terminator 2.
Maybe the Caribbean.
There you go.
And that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, another very good film. I'm a great lover of Johnny Depp.
I don't know if you again. I'm so sorry. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're back.
There we go.
So, favorite dark ride?
I'm sorry, Darren. We're kind of missing you here.
Do you have a favorite dark ride?
Indoor coasters don't count.
No, no, it's got to be. I don't. For me, the Haunted Mansion Holiday overlay at Disneyland, I think, is one of the best dark rides. Period, because it's a classic, and then the holiday overlay of Nightmare Before Christmas on the Haunted Mansion, which is also, I think, only at Disneyland in Southern California. I think that's really special. So I love that.
Like Spider-Man, Transformers, or not?
Yeah, those are dark rides.
Spider-Man was incredible. I loved Spider-Man. Transformers was really good too. All at Universal, both Transformers. Both are great rides though.
Yeah, and that ride's so old, but it still holds up.
It's crazy, all the effects. Oh, funny story. I was on you know what I'm gonna tell, right?
No.
Oh, I was on the Kong ride at at Universal Islands of Adventure. And they have like water effects. So like when Kong like roars at you, like spit comes out of his mouth and like they shoot water at you. Kind of gross, but there was a moment where like I felt like hair get in my mouth. And so my girlfriend was sitting right next to me. And when I got off the ride, wow, the water effects and the hair effects were so good on that ride. And everyone's like, what are you talking about with the hair effects? It's like her hair was blowing in my face. And I thought it was a ride effect.
Oh dear. There's you know the Saw franchise. Just thinking of weird effects. We have obviously in the UK we have Saw the ride, and the first part of the ride is indoors, and it takes you through that scene from the very first film in the bathroom. And basically, as you're coming through and inverting, there's a dead body on the floor that squirts blood in inverted commas. Whatever it is that this thing squirts,
it's not blood.
No, it's not blood, but it's not water.
I would hope
It's kind of sticky.
It's not, what is it?
I don't know. I've not been able to find out what
It's
it actually
horrible.
is. All I know is it squirts up, and if you're sat in the wrong place, you take it full in the face.
Oh, that is the most foul thing I've ever heard.
See, Coaster Chicken and Coaster Tog are saying it's water.
It's definitely not water. The amount of times I've been sprayed up with that and it's sticky and.
Yeah, the nice thing about Universal's water.
Oh.
Yeah. Universal's water is like cold. It's kind of annoying, but it's a little refreshing.
Well, I mean, it's so humid. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
My wife complains about it because she's like, "Oh no, it's gonna ruin my hair," but it's okay.
It's fun.
It's fun. Oh goodness.
Oh, yes. But I think what we I was talking about dark rides, weren't we? Have you got a favourite dark ride, Tej?
What do we class as dark rides?
Indoor coasters.
I haven't done any except from the which one is it? The Walking Dead. And I hated it.
TJ's not great with horror or dark. And I finally persuaded him to get on a ride called The Walking Dead. And it sometimes has live actors.
Yep.
And I don't think he'll be doing it again in a hurry. So he's not a dark rides fan.
Oh my goodness, I'm seeing that somebody had their mouth open. I think they're still talking about Saw.
Ew.
Oh no!
Close your mouth when we're writing Saw.
Yeah. That's awful.
It's such a problem.
I just don't even want to think about that.
I always have my mouth open.
Oh, bro, this is a good one. If you had to scrap one coaster in your top 3, what would it be?
What? That's
So
me.
what's your
I
top 3? I mean, I'm not getting rid of Iron Gwazi.
Can I put a bad coaster in my top 3 just so I
No.
could scrap it?
Ooh, oh my god.
Got to stick to your original top 3.
Yeah, right now for me, that's Iron Gwazi, Velocicoaster, and like between Mako and Hagrid's for me.
Going to be Gwazi coaster. I hate to say this, but I would scrap Velocicoaster. I know Velocicoaster is over X2, but X2 is so unique.
No, I'm kind of in the same boat.
I'm not getting rid of X2. Like, that's my...
I don't know. Would I scrap Mako or Velocicoaster? I really like Mako.
Scrap Mako. You could ride another hyper.
Yeah, but I'll just Mako and then Shambhala.
There you go.
Fair enough. I think,
Fair enough.
hard
I think,
question.
because of your top 3, all
some bucket list of mine. So
all of your
I
top
wouldn't
3
be
are
able
on
to scrap any of those.
some bucket list of mine. So I wouldn't be able to scrap any of those.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
for sure.
Is there
Anybody else got any more questions for the Zooder Loopers?
Oh,
Actually, I've got a question for you. I was looking at your Q-line quizzes.
Let's hear it.
Are you planning on doing any more anytime soon?
You know what's so funny is if you watch our very first video, we made a short video after Brian broke his phone, and this could be funny. Let's pretend like we used the phone as a POV, and let's film something with it. And so our very first video was uploaded on April Fool's Day. as almost like a teaser for our channel. And we thought we were going to do POVs. What else? Coaster quizzes.
We promised POVs, quizzes, and coaster chats.
Coaster chats.
And we do none of the above.
The quizzes were fun.
They were very time consuming for him.
Yeah, they were very time consuming.
Because we use all other people's photos and we want to make sure we get 100% approval. And so that's been the like, dude, I need to get like 7 photos in the next 3 hours.
There have really been conversations of like, Derek, we're 1 picture short. Find anybody that has a photo of Thorpe Park and ask them for something. Like literally, it was so difficult at some point. And so it became unfun. And we have a couple of tent poles that we really want to hold ourselves to. And one, we always repeat to remind ourselves, if it stops being fun, we're going to stop doing it. And so there have been a couple of moments where we've all out of frustration been like, it's not fun anymore. And so that was kind of one of them.
Yeah.
It was fun at first.
No, I agree. If it stops being fun, you should stop doing it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's true of most things in life, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We
We
really enjoy what we've been doing lately with the vlogs and just getting out to these parks and having a good time. That's always what we just try and do. We just try and have fun.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the quizzes was it allowed us an opportunity to reach out to people in the community and just ask them for permission. But we got to know a lot of folks through that way. And gosh, I really did not think we would be doing anything like this, but we definitely didn't think we would be having friends in the coaster community or going out with other folks and meeting up. And I always thought we wouldn't do that. And it's been such a blessing, the relationships that we've built. I can't wait for 2023 to meet up with new folks.
So great.
We have a couple places planned, but gosh, we've met some really good folks. Some of them are on this chat right now. Jameer, literally, I cannot wait to go up to New Jersey.
Jameer's been there since
great guy.
Literally, day one.
Yes,
Jameer
for me
won
too.
This, we had one, and we sent her to Jameer. He won it on Clevers.
Yeah, we had a giveaway, and he was one of 2 people that entered.
And then Islanders, they've been on here. We're actually doing some work dealing. We're not really. We're just lucky to be a part of it.
Exactly.
But they are a group of Christians, and they've created a group called Right of Your Life Ministries, and it's been like a real blessing because we've always had an opportunity to be together as a family, and now we are blessed that we could enjoy something like roller coasters as a family. And we've met some really fantastic folks, and we're really excited for what 2023 has to offer. I mean, we're very humbled by anybody that subscribes to us, but
no, it's crazy. We just got to put ourselves out there, and we've met some really, really incredible people. It's crazy how open 97 is in this community, that we've been able to really just build incredible relationships. And at the end of it all, we get to have fun. That's one really amazing thing. And
it's
mysteries, all great people.
If you'd have said to me when I started my YouTube channel back at the beginning of March this year that in December I would be having a live conversation with some enthusiasts in Florida, I would have laughed. And the reason I do Nervous Chat is because it does, like you say, it gives me that opportunity to talk to all these people, all these fascinating enthusiasts who share the same interest, but we're all such different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's been the different people that we've just become parks, and we have big meetups with all our friends. It's so great.
Yeah.
You know, it's just such a fun time.
And I know, I mean, I'm just realizing we're all human and we all have different likes and we all have different and just great coasters out there that are unique in their own way also. I mean, and fantastic to, you know, how out to the UK to ride with them.
Yep.
You know, I don't care what it is, but like it's
steeplechase,
right? Like if it's steeplechase, like I would love that. Like it would have been a fantastic opportunity to grow. And you know, I don't think that anyone has ever said there's too much positivity in the world.
No.
So
Yep,
hopefully
absolutely.
and you know, people hopefully get together around things that they love like this and just you know, have some better relationships.
Oh,
Folks.
1,000%.
I'm encouraged.
I think internet's letting us down again, guys. We're, I didn't catch most of that.
No,
and it was the best.
I'm going to take you from the stream. You need to log out. TJ is leaving us here. He has school tomorrow, so he's he's off to bed. But it was really nice to have him in the show with me tonight because obviously we play off each other really well when we vlog, so it's quite nice to have him here as well.
Hey, TJ.
I can sort of hear you guys.
There
you are. You're back.
Are you back?
Hello?
You're back.
Woo!
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm sorry we had to lose TJ.
No, it's fine. He's school in the morning, so
in the Atlantic that's cutting out.
There must be, yeah. It's frustrating, isn't it? Because you know, but it's been great talking to you guys. We've been chatting for well over an hour, which is absolutely fantastic. And I am going to ask you guys to come back at some point because I think there's so much more we can talk about.
Yes.
And it would be nice. It would be nice to catch up with you.
Preferably with a better.
And to hear more about obviously, you know, what you've got up to over Christmas.
Into the modem, like hardwire.
Yes.
Hardwire, yeah. That's. Do you know? Actually, StreamYard some do recommend that, but I mean, I don't know. I've always been lucky. I've always been okay with Wi-Fi, but it's sometimes it's just one of those things, isn't it? But you know, we can't control it. We just move on. You know, I've heard 99% of what you guys have had to say, which is fantastic. And I said I'd definitely like to get you back because I think there's so much more we can talk about. You know, being father and son vloggers, you know, and the dynamics of how that works, because I find that every father and son vlogging team that I've come across has a different dynamic. You've probably seen that when TJ vlogs with me, which isn't as often as I would like because he doesn't live with me, we have this great, we are literally mocking each other constantly, but that's our thing.
Makes fun of me.
You know,
that's the best for sure. You
know, and I will pull him up when he says stupid things like the fake tigers, which he'll never live that down. I'm never ever going to let him live the fake tigers comment down, because it's just no.
It's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. You know, and it's that sort of unique thing, isn't it? So so thank you very much for coming on, guys. As I say, it has been absolutely fantastic to talk to you. And I hate to have to cut it, but as I said, I will get you back on definitely in the new year, and we can catch up. And as you say, with hopefully better internet, and you know, and it'd be just great to chat some more. And obviously, I'll chat to you again on Instagram like I do anyway. Keep popping me those links for your videos, because you know, it's always good to keep up with what people are doing and things like that. But if anybody wants to have a look and subscribe to Zooder Loopers, I have included links to both their Instagram and their YouTube channel in the description for the video tonight. Please go check them out. Please go and subscribe. Honestly, the videos are brilliant. The editing is just another level. I love the way you use the subtitle editing when you're talking. It's brilliant. You know, and so please go and check them out, because they deserve all the support. They are absolutely fantastic. And as I say, thank you again, guys, for coming on.
Thank you guys so much.
And I will speak to you again soon. Take care for now. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes.
Over here it's bedtime, basically.
Merry Christmas.
Of course.
And Merry Christmas, of course.
Oh.
Yes.
Well,
absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yes.
See you later, guys.
Have a good
Awesome.
one. Thank you so much.
Catch you guys later.
You're welcome. And there we go. Zooder Loopers. Fantastic YouTube channel there. I apologize for internet problems we've had tonight, but we've worked through them as best we can. And I will get them back on for another chat, as I said. Next week's guest is Bedder from Stubwood YouTube. He ran Alton Towers with us when we did the Run Alton Towers event. He's a great YouTuber, up and coming channel. Wanted to get him on for a little while, so that will be next week's guest, back at the normal time of Monday 8 p.m. And obviously 2 weeks time we will have our Christmas special, Nervous Chat Christmas special. I'm not going to announce the guests until literally the day, so that's the surprise. And hopefully, if everything I've got planned I can pull off, it should be a bit of fun, a bit of a laugh, and just something, you know, a bit festive. So so please keep tuning in, guys. Thank you for watching tonight. It is really appreciated. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will catch you a week on Monday. So until then, bye for now.